Good evening, everyone, and welcome into what is an exciting Wednesday night for Valorant. Something new, something different. But before we get there, I am one of your casters tonight. I'm Cairo Cast, joined by the wonderful Mr. Moon. How is it going, mate? How are we?
Well, great. It's getting extremely chilly by now, but luckily we have enough Valorant tonight to warm our hearts up, don't we?
Yeah, exactly, mate. And what exactly we have in store for you guys is a TDM matchup with the new map coming. I mean, Moon, what more could you be excited for?
I mean, definitely looking at those up-and-coming talents. We're not talking about new players anymore, we're talking about content creators. And here, streamers will be duking it out for two interesting spots. They will definitely fight it off, to make it in front of the crowd in Spain. But more on this in a little bit, right? Yeah. I'm still led to believe, you're kind of used to commentate on teams of extremely high caliber, right? You're used to that the competitive nature of Valorant, right? You cannot discard that at all. So watching all those setups, all those organized teams with a clear roadmap on the map, with a clear plan, clear tactics, clear strat book, I'm wondering what kind of chaos we'll be witnessing tonight.
Exactly, that's exactly what I'm looking forward to. And as we get a little run through of the new map, it is called Drift. There's so much that already, just from the little snippets that we've seen, that we can see in terms of like setup. I'm thinking that looking already, I'm thinking like a good breach would be good on this map. If you're TDMing with and trying to play it in a tournament style like this.
Yeah, I do not really think that Drift will be picked. I mean, maybe for the fun of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a quite interesting map, and being a pessimistic person myself when it comes to new maps usually, right? Sorry, I'm on that camp, okay? But this is probably the first map that gave me extremely positive vibes from the get-go since it launched. Did you get to play it yet?
I've not had the chance to play it. Me being an old man, I've been stuck kind of just working away. But from looking at it, from the snippets that I have got to look at it, Moon, I'm excited by it.
Yeah, definitely. I'll prefer to just wait by the corner, like watching other people play it and then coming at the expert on the matter, right?
Exactly. When it opens up to play it, I mean, I imagine you'll be like absolutely grinding it out. But I guess now that we've had a look at the new map, Moon, it's about time we explain what is going to be going on here on the broadcast.
Alright, so the format here is extremely simple, extremely clear. 4 teams in here named after items and creatures, of course, will be, of course, duking it out. But the format in here is pretty much clear. You've got a Swiss bracket, so each team will play each other team twice. Now, of course, winning games means that you'll be collecting points, and that total of points will allow you to crown yourself as either the champion or the joint champion, as you'll be making it to the grand finals in Gamergy. So those two teams will, of course, be playing a game that is disconnected from the final of the Spike Nations, and this is the Spike Nations TDM, which of course I want to remind you will be happening on Spain on the 16th of December, and look at it, lo and behold, it would be a best of 7. And of course, crowning that competition will be the grand finals of the Spike Nations, as we've witnessed, of course, that tournament over the course of the last month. Team Türkiye and Italy, as well as France as UK, made it from those groups and will of course be promising us an extremely beautiful display. A revenge map from Team Italy versus Türkiye, and that was was one of the first games that we watched on Ascent. It was quite a rough start for Team Italy, but France and UK have some beef to pick up on as well, as Team UK and France delivered a masterful game. Will we be seeing the same level of play? That's exactly what the finals of Gamergy will be telling us.
Yeah, exactly. A lot to kind of get your teeth sunk into. Imagine a lot of people sitting at home will be thinking, hey, do you know what? Might find my way down there. It's the 16th of December. It's towards the end of the month. If you're working, I know I'm going to be finished up by then. And hopefully I'll be there. I don't know about you, man, but I'm extremely excited for that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when it comes to the energy, the atmosphere that comes from games like this, we're not just looking at, the fans of this team or that powerhouse. There's something stronger here. It's like, I don't know, sorry for the approach, but like when you look at football, right? You're watching the league, you can see the fans and so on, but once is the World Cup, even if the level sometimes is a little bit lacking compared to, the leagues, the World Cup has a different sense to it, and that's exactly what's going to happen with the representative of each countries. But enough talking about football teams. Let's talk about the teams that will be meeting in here. Team Elephant, Dragon, Buffett, and Lantern. I reckon you do know some of those names, don't you?
Oh yeah, 100%. There's a few that stick out to me straight away. Team Dragon, for instance, they've got Fizzy, who's on Focus, a really great player, did well on Sol last year. And then I've got a couple of, I don't know if friends, got So Marcus on Team Buffet, and then you've got you've got Meg, sounds like Egg on Team Lantern as well. I'll be excited to see them two go up against one another. So yeah, there's a lot of creators. I'm sure that you have a couple of favourites there as well, Moon.
Not really. I'm more of the guy who picks depending on statistics, and well, I don't have enough to build my opinion. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It's like I'm coming in here blindfolded, and I have no idea what to expect. But there's nothing for me to lose. I'm exactly in here watching those games. We'll be taking the banter that will be happening between the players, and of course, me and Cairo secretly decided to, usually after the game, we would be selecting an MVP, but we'll be selecting the plastic trophy of the banter of the game, right? The action of the game. The player will be bringing that atmosphere because we will definitely be getting one of those. But overall, I'm pretty much excited to see what's going to happen and what those players will be making out of this show.
Yeah, and I wonder, Moon, thinking about it, is there any agents that you are wanting to see in the TDM? Obviously, ISO has just been released.
Well, not really. I'm more of a Sky player, like, honestly, just brainstock on Sky. And that's due to, my preference on how to play. I'm more of a open to support, open to, initiate, open to take fights, and as well as being, a moving hospital as well, a moving pharmacy for my teammates. So, a die-hard fan of Sky. For those who knows me, definitely do know that. But I'm not pretty sure on how the meta will be shaping up. I'm not clearly seeing any favorites so far, and I guess that the beginning of the season will be telling me more about it. But again, as we were talking, we're already introduced to the first game, Team Dragon versus Team Elephant. In terms of zoology, I don't think that we could be talking about a good matchup, Dragons, Elephants. I think size-wise.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess more the aspect we've got to be looking at is the players that are playing on these teams, Moon. And let's talk about Team Dragon first here.
Okay, Team Dragon here with, I'll be trying to read the names because they're coming from different countries, and I could say Shaloni pretty much easily. That's what Poland did to me, right? Once you go Polish, you never go back, right? So, and although we didn't get the time to take a look at the different content creators and constituting the teams, I'm pretty much sure that everyone in here is coming with the expectation of seeing their favorite content creator duking it out in here. And, well, you're gonna ask me, Moon, what about the meta? What about the maps? How's it gonna be played? What do you expect? Honestly, I have no clue. And this is the first time I would ever say it with a look straight to the camera, with a microphone, in front of viewers, to my co-caster. I have no clue. right?
Yeah, but exactly. I guess it's one of the weirdest game modes because in our heads we'll be actually wanting 5 duelists compared to when we play the standard mode, you know. So yeah, I think there's a lot that can be done here. Hopefully there's no people going to be picking up the controllers because that could be awkward. And yeah, I guess this is going to be a new way of kind of watching Valorant casting it as well. You've got to be honest, Moon. It's going to be a bit of an interesting one for us too.
Well, no, I don't think I'm ready to play one game for you. Clearly not. But what I can tell you for certain here is that, you know, it's super nice to have the opportunity to remember that games are fun as well, right? It's not just about winning, because whether you win or lose, you won, because, you know, whether you're someone who's trying to grind the ladders or someone who's coming back from work after 8 hours of labor or work, right? And you're in here, you're home, you're seated comfortably on your gaming chair that would increase your accuracy by 13%, right? And your RGB headset that would give you an 8% game sense. Don't forget about that, boys. You're sitting and you're trying to have fun. And this is exactly the core of it. Competitive spirit. Definitely, I'm with you. I'm a competitive person myself. But yeah, games are fun. We tend to forget about that.
The whole point, and obviously it's all the other aspect to it is showing off a new TDM map, which I imagine a lot of people at home excited to see something new to get introduced to. It is in Thailand as well. That's where it's based. So while you might be chilly at home, I guess the agents will be warm.
No, I really haven't a clue as well when it comes to answering to this question. But I'm led to believe that, you know, even if it's fun, we might be seeing some picks like all over the place, something that would be surprising us right and left. And if I quite quote on your question, we will be more likely seeing everyone playing their comfort agent. So might be finding ourselves in the, you know, very sad situation of finding yourself in a team with 5 players who are specialized in duelists. So 5 duelists, here we go. I guess.
Yeah, let's hope for that. Again, like I'm more excited to see ISO. I've not had a lot of chance to be able to cast that agent. Played against it a few times as well, but to varying success. So I'm hoping that these content creators can show us some lineups, especially for the new map. I wonder if any of them have had like that early access as well to sit and go through it all.
Yeah, would they? I don't know. Would they pick that map? Would they pick it? Would they pick Drift? Let me think. Maybe. For the fun of it. Definitely. I don't think we had enough time to prepare for that map, right? I think that the approach would be more of a deathmatch approach, but again, TDM, right? Team deathmatch. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But yeah, it's just full of mystery for me. You know, I'm feeling a little bit awkward. I'm feeling afraid even. Because, you know, I'm trying to think of what might happen, and it's just dark with a lot of colors as well. Because you know that we're gonna see something that's quite interesting and entertaining, but what is it gonna be? And maybe being someone who hates surprises? I don't know. I'm having mixed feelings.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm sure we are not too far away from Agent Select, so I'm wondering to myself here, oh, there we are, straight into it, what exactly we are going to get. And, well, Moon, I'll let you take it away.
Well, it's Drift right away. And again, as clueless as I am when it comes to which agents would you rather play in this map, I cannot tell you much about it. But clearly in here, look at Team Elephant, which are on the attacker side. I'm led to believe that they got to themselves quite the lineup in here. Playing with a double duelist, we've had the Breach in here to initiate their fights. You know, ASO as well will be bringing in all of his artillery in here to assist his team. And with a Sage on the back line to sustain her team and give all that defensive assets to the Elephant squad. The Dragon squad in here seems to be a little bit more confident, as we're seeing a Neon being picked up, which will allow them to have faster, quicker, more dynamic entrance to their sites. And overall, I think that defensively they will be heavily relying on that Viper, which is an absent pick. So completely different picks. I've heard to compare the two selections, and well, game 1 is on. Dragons, Elephants, take it away.
Here we go. Obviously, you've got to be looking out for how the teams play together. It's a team deathmatch, of course. There's certain things you can pick up, like ultimate orbs, and there's certainly frags as well as already. Team Dragon get themselves kicked off here, Moon. There's healing orbs in the middle that obviously you can sustain yourself a little bit longer. The Reyna, they're probably the most important for that. But Dragons, they're taking an early lead.
Exactly, and that was as chaotic as it could get. Excellent flash coming up from Mayui, while Shaloni will be getting rid of Leviathan. Hitboxing, reviving in here, and remember, something that we failed to explain at the beginning is the fact that it's all a matter of points in here. Die and revive, collect the points, and make the difference. And, well, what's kind of interesting is that I would love to see the total of kills in here coming from the players. Again, we'll be having the scoreboard in a couple of seconds, but we can clearly see that Elephants are just dominating through and through. 18 kills to 10 so far, and Dragons are just trailing when it comes to the amount of kills that they do have. So when it comes to lineups, I'm not quite certain of it. Steve in here, disposing of Kozak, and well, relying simply on those pistols might be an arduous task to create the advantage. That's Leviathan finding a Sheriff, and well, moving to a next phase while a Stinger popping on the handoff. Not certain how to say the name. Let's go with Sage. And well, Dragons are just closing in now. 5 kills of difference in between two.
Yeah.
Less than 8 minutes to go.
Yeah. I mean, you can see both teams obviously going at it. As we start to get through the phases, you'll have those better weaponry. We'll see both teams going right through it. I mean, right now it's all about Dragon trying to close this gap, trying to keep themselves competitive. But the thing is, though, Elephants just continuously being able to play together and trading off one another. And this is where Dragons need to try and dismantle those holds. And well, here we have it through mid. Dragons still trailing.
And as you can clearly notice in here, Team Elephant is just committed to do multi-picks. So whenever a player from Team Dragon is trying to take that kill, 2 players would appear, trying to create that advantage. But here's Shaloni trying to play hero. 6-7 picking one and falling, bringing the score to 36-28 after this kill from Maui. Ooh! Leviathan! Just quite bonkers in here.
That's what we love to see, though, in the team deathmatch already, though. Elephant starting to take a 10-point lead here. In fact, make that 11. You get the win at 100, so keeping that gap as big as possible. Real control of the mid of the map as well. And just actually being able to find ways to flank up through that. That's going to be the biggest point for Dragon. And they're doing it right now. Here we go. The kill's being dropped. And somehow Elephant, they're only holding on to the left side of the map, trying to spawn camp, trying to keep Elephants in their hold, but realistically they can't do much here.
Yep, exactly, and there we go. I think we're seeing... Oh, no, it's still Guardians. I thought I saw Marshall in here. But then again, you know, in terms of pistol, clearly Team Elephants dominated. But now things are changing with Bulldogs and Phantoms making their apparition, with Dragons trailing with 5 points only, and less than 6 minutes to go. Abilities as well starting to become annoying. And I reckon I would be extremely confused if I were in here. Okay, tap for Vandals. There we go. That's more like it.
Yes. So everybody will probably be used to that with the amount of... you play the rifle in normal competitive. Less down the stages, the harder it truly becomes, and it's hard to even fight back into this. But Dragon's making a good effort of it. Between the two, and obviously you've got those power weapons, the Odin, the Operator, that will be up and able to be picking up the lead though. Almost Dragons close by, only one in it now.
Okay. Now, things are getting a little bit dicey as Dragons finally overcome Elephants. And that's Raji trying to keep things to a close, but Dragons are running away with a triple at the hands of Hit. Boxing, of course. Still trading in here. Elephant losing players one after the other, and Maui is able to keep them at bay for the time being, reducing the score to 2 measly points. Easy kills to pick up in here and abilities in order to bring some order to the table. But Elephants are still fighting, and yet again, Kozak on the flank. I mean, you gotta give it to Dragons. They're always able to find... I mean, it's very difficult to position yourself in this mode, right? But they're just able to find that flank at every occasion. Great, that as Raji and Stevor are just making the difference and will steal it away with 2 points. And Raji with the 5th successful kill.
On an ace, which is absolutely incredible. Again, that gap just growing for the Elephants here, and it just continues to do so.
Oh,
not
no.
even a reply from Dragons. This is not looking like good stuff. 25 remain before we hit that end of the match. Although Dragons now finally have a retort, it's a reset across the map in terms of control.
Okay, and, you know, short-lived success in here as Elephants are still keeping the heat up. In terms of damage right now for this round, they do have enough to survive, I suppose, and Hitbox King would drop. And the gap's just growing wider and wider. 75 to 82. Kozak trying to make things fair for his team, but then again, it's Raji on the back with a triple to his name. He's just being a thorn in their back, isn't he?
Yes, that's the way it's got to be. Well, we're still seeing people trying to pick up the Odin, trying to make it work, and trying to fight their way back through. Still, those healing orbs are up and available. The Reyna overheal, but it's not going to matter too much. The players have overextended far too much. It's up to Kozak, but can't quite get it done. 10 kills remaining to get this over the line, make that 9. Elephants trying to control the map by even investing a Sage Wall. Establish the control, make it work. Operator now picked up on the side of Dragons, and it's working out for them.
It does, and that's the Odin picked up. If I'm not mistaken, and the Odin does the damage. That's Effie on the ground, 93 to 90. Score still extremely close, and everything could be possible. And that Hastebox King again trying to take the flank. But guess what? His own has an operator ready, and Hitbox King just dismantles Elephants right on the spot. Window acquired and dominated. And that Hastebox King with 4, would he be able to deal even more damage? That's a 5th kill to his name. He is his position and relies on his teammates for cover, and that's Dragons running away with it with 1 point of difference. Shaloni bring it to a close again, 100 to 99. And that's it. At the last possible second, who would have thought Elephants would run away with this map?
I mean, that's it. A 1 kill between it, and that's sometimes when we get in these deathmatch modes, that's exactly what can happen. It being so close between the two teams, and weirdly enough, a lot of strategy actually being employed there, Moon.
Yeah, definitely, especially from the side of Team Elephant. I mean, you could clearly see that they were playing in a more organized way. They're essentially relying on the fact that, okay, I'm not going to take that fight on individual picks. We're going to take a 2-3 man pick. He might take one, we'll refrag, take control of an area, just hold those spots, and of course they were able to convert. We've seen the domination as well, because something that you need to keep in consideration in here is which weapon are we playing. And you cannot expect everyone to be good at a Bulldog, everyone to be good at a Stinger, everybody to be good at an Operator, right? So that's what happens on the pistol phase. Clearly, Team Elephant just stomped. It was a stampede, right, initially, and the score was just so far for it to compare it in the number of kills. But then again, on the phase of Stingers and the phase of Phantoms and Vandals, Team Dryer were able to pick up their pieces and brought it together to a close, but unlucky at the end, they couldn't hold control of the map. A fast approach coming from Elephants, that was the end of it. A good point going the way of Elephants.
Yeah, well, we do have an MVP to bring up. The player who got the most kills and brought the most impact to the team, Moon. I wonder, have you got any ideas of who it could potentially be?
I had a hard time to memorize the name, but he was essentially the Jet of
Raji.
the Elephant side. Raji, exactly, Raji. Sorry, I got confused at the beginning. I mean, the 2 years of Chinese that I did in high school did not help at all. So there you go. That's my MVP. What about you?
Yeah, I would have to agree. A player that definitely got a lot of impact. I believe, I can't remember the name, but it was the Reyna on the other side as well, who was certainly fragging out. So hopefully that will certainly, they'll be able to kind of be up there as well. It'll be a bit of an upset though, considering that obviously they weren't on the team that won. So we'll see exactly when we get that MVP screen up.
Yeah, once it's read, definitely. And I think the player that you're talking about is... I think it's Boxing King. Yep.
Yeah.
It's Boxing King. Yep. We've
Yeah.
seen a lot from. I actually expected more from the Neon, honestly, with all the mobility that she has and so on and so on. So and well, okay, exactly. So we just got the notice right now, Cairo. There's no MVP to be displayed right now, so probably later on. So I think it's time to take a small break, don't you think?
Certainly. We'll be back in a few minutes and then we'll get back into game number 2 where we've got another 2 teams going up against it. Do not go far. We'll be back in a quick second. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Spike Nation's Drift TDM Challenge. That's a mouthful. And well, I've got the wonderful Moon to take me through it. Moon, how is it going? How is that first map for you?
The first map was extremely fast, which is the nature of a TDM format, right? Pretty much impressive and solid game, honestly, given how close it was. Again, we had 3 different chapters in the game. At the beginning, which was extremely dark for the dragons, they were able to soar on the second phase once the Stinges, the Phantoms, the Guardians essentially appeared, and then just Team Elephant stampeding were able to take it away from Team Dragon and then bring it to a close 99 to 100. I mean, what are the odds, right? And if this explains anything, it explains that both teams came prepared in different ways to the TDM format.
Yeah. I mean, I liked some of the strategy that was employed. More thinking towards the Sage pick that came in, the barrier orb being invested quite a lot of the times towards the other team's spawn so that they could keep control of mid. Some of the stuff that I was liking kind of being implemented. A lot of multi-kills that were really taking the lead and bringing the lead back, and you could see why it was so close. But yeah, moving on from that and now looking towards game 2, you've had an idea of how things are going to go. Is there anything that you specifically want to see, Moon?
Well, clearly, what I do not want to see is a team that would be full duelists, right? Now, one might want to think of picking up the KO, although, okay, when it comes to the Null, definitely, but his flash would be extremely useful. I mean, just imagine a team with 3 flashers right now with the ability to take those fights. I mean, think Phoenix, Sky, and KO. It's gonna be pandemonium, man.
Yeah.
I suppose, like, you'd be lucky if you're able to see 4 frames out of 30 seconds of the round, right? So that would be extremely evil. I like the pick of the Sage because with the ability to just, like, wall off that region, a specific region of the map, you'd be completely denying any sort of exit point from your opponent, so it's extremely good to delay the advantage that you have over your enemy. And if you take into consideration also the presence of a Viper, I mean, I would have loved to see more of the Breach, but he wasn't too much of a help. But right now, let's look at things as they are, because while we were commentating, we had the second game happening, and as you can clearly see, Dragon and Lantern are dominating the scoreboard. I think we had something wrong with the previous game when it comes to the names of the team. I don't know, I'm confused now.
I mean, well, there's one thing that's for sure, though, Moon, when we look at it, Team Dragon and Team Lantern, obviously, when they winning out, Elephant and getting close, but Buffet not really getting close, and they only got towards 67 kills. That's a worrying sign, considering how good we saw Team Dragon and Team Elephant play that last map.
I mean, alright, when we're talking about TDM, we're essentially talking about how good you are at aiming and locking that aim, alright, on the heads of your opponents. But when you see a discrepancy of 34 kills, I think that you might start putting some question marks in here. Maybe that the first game of the game was easier for them. Maybe that the late game wasn't that easy for them. It could be the agent selections as well. There are so many variables that come into play. Maybe unlucky peaks, maybe just, you know, timing being off. But then again, Team Elephant and Team Buffett in here. Team Buffett will feed us with their chance of holding that second spot in the ranking, or will Team Elephant be able to stampede their way through the previous loss? That's what we're gonna take a look at. And I think that, yep, we mixed up the team. That was Team Elephant with Hitboxing, your favorite trainer from the previous game.
Yeah, I mean, Hitbox King certainly fragging out. As for Team Buffet, one person that I would like to point out, obviously got to be So Marcus, a player who can really light up the kill feed if needs be. Interested to see if they're going to be fragging out. I know they can be a little bit hit or miss, shall we say, when it comes to the fragging department.
Yep, and well, looking at how things are panning out right now, this... you know, that's the situation. We're looking at the ranking and we're like, okay, the 2 losing teams will be duking it out, right? So it's and since we only have 4 kills, it's not a matter for teams. It's not a matter of looking at who's going to be the best out of the worst, but this is clinging to a 3rd position that could potentially send you toward the 2nd position if things work your way. Now, that's definitely a game that I'm looking for. That's definitely a team through which you will be able to confirm if Team Buffett has what it takes to run away with this win, if Team Elephant still have it in themselves to be able to challenge their next opponent, which would be Team Lantern. Yep. because although Team Lantern had a comfortable win earlier, they were able to bring it to 99 to 100 versus Team Dragon. So a lot of calculations here running in my mind. I'm going into overdrive. But what's certain is that the only thing that would satiate my curiosity right now is to see if the players are able to confirm all the hypotheses that we put in place.
Yeah, exactly. And in terms of calculations, a lot of these teams will be calculating when they're going to be playing these teams next. You've got to remember, it is a double round robin, so there's a chance for revenge. And well, there's nothing better than revenge served cold, you know, Ruben? So I mean, that's another thing you've got to be thinking about coming round to it.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you have the possibility to swap up your agent's play, maybe in a more different way. You learn from the setups and how your opponent has played. You kind of figure out that if you see that train again, you're running away from it. If you see that jet again, you're running away from it, right? So let's say that this was a, warm-up. Okay, let's call it like that. Everybody's getting used to that temperature, to the ambient temperature, right? Understanding how the games will be running. Maybe it was just the first game and you didn't deathmatch enough before coming to this TDM, which, again, a reminder that this TDM tournament is, of course, part of the GamerG festival that you'll be assisting to later on the month of December, and that only 2 teams will be making it in order to show us who is going to be the best on the TDM format, which is, of course, independent from the finals of the Spike Nations again. We'll have an excellent menu that we should be expecting, of course. Team Türkiye versus Team Italy in the first semi-final, and of course Team France and Team UK on the second semi-final to crown the champion of the Spike Nation. So again, Kyle, let's talk agents. Now we have a clear idea about how things are running. Which agents are you expecting to see now?
I'm expecting, I'm hoping that we'll see a breach. You know, I think there's a lot of value you can get from that agent because of the way that the walls work. I think as well, we saw good value from this agent actually holding on to one of the flanks on either side of the map. That's personally one of my kind of takeaways from that last game. As for the rest of them, I mean, you're probably looking for the duelist, Arena perhaps, because of the way that they can be self-sufficient.
I would completely agree with the Reina pick. It's just that we didn't get to see a lot of that breach on the previous game. And again, that's my personal opinion, that's my personal view of things. I'm not Mr. Always Right, far from that. But, thinking about it, the Sage was good. I could see it employed even more on the CDM. It could be, a pivotal agent for this mode. We've seen maybe the Viper try to reciprocate that block, with the Toxin Screen, but that's an ability that you can cross scot-free. Killjoy clearly not. Far from that. No, I would not vouch for Killjoy. I don't think that the Nanoswarm would bring in a lot of impact. Phoenix. Brimstone, no. Far from that. Nah. Maybe. Actually, maybe. You could stall on the window, maybe steal away an Odin. I don't know. What do you think?
I think personally for me, I don't see the value you get from controller agents, but at the same time, you never know how teams want to implement, if they are implementing tactics. I'm thinking of all these like kind of sentinels, the choices you get from there, and on top of that, like Viper, like we saw a bit of that as well. I feel as if the Viper wall is a bit awkward to use, especially when you're wanting to take gunfights. But the mollies were really good on moving people around the map.
Yeah, clearly. And this is a mode that relies more on mobility and more on, those flashes to take those peaks rather than anything. So odds of seeing an Astra are, I don't want to say very low, but I don't see Astra being picked in here. What's the impact that she could bring into the map, right? But I'm saying give my guy Sky a chance. Give Sky a chance. I think she would work so well in this mode. I mean, definitely not the Trailblazer, but having that Binding Light, it could just change a lot. Having the possibility to get the whole team, right, after Wipeout, imagine, right? You're able to take those 4-5 kills, and then, your teammates are hurt, you have the ability to heal all of them. I don't know. I'm not certain. Maybe some changes, some tweaks happen to the ability, but I don't know. Give her a chance. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. And again, to talk about that ISO conversation, I mean, Ultimate's coming out. It's almost like that cowboy standoff. I mean, it's a bit of a weird one because obviously, like, being in the water map, would you rather be a cowboy, like, shooting off? Would you rather be a pirate going to try and steal those kills? I mean, what playstyle would you prefer there, Moon? Would you rather be kind of being that ISO, being the cowboy, taking the one-on-one, or would you rather be, like, one of the other duelist agents, like maybe not a Reyna, because I think we've already agreed that's a great pick. Or maybe something like a Neon, you know, going and besieging the opponent's spawn.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we saw coming from the Neon earlier, although, okay, very impactful, not the most impactful, but still very impactful, and actually, the smoke justifies the presence of ISO, right? I mean, we've seen him multiple occasions, whenever he's able to get those kills, with the shield that he gets in front of him, right? He just has so much survivability, so much sustain when facing multiple opponents. So, overall, great pick, all overlooked. I did overlook that pick. But we've seen him on the scoreboard more than just once, right? And thinking of things, the unavailable, the always present chat has to mark your presence in here. I think that you just cannot work around the jet, definitely not. So, thinking about it, you get more agents that you'd rather pick than agents that you'd like to avoid. And, well, I can understand that, you know, you can get confused whenever you're selecting your agents before starting the game. And speaking of the game, again, we're just waiting for the second game to start. And, well, given that we do have all in all 4 teams, and that we have 12 games overall, we will be witnessing 6 games, right? So right now we're taking a look at another duel in between Elephants and Buffet, followed by, of course, the schedule as it will roll out. So, who are you rooting for? Which team is it?
Do you know what? I would love to see him rooting for Team Buffy. I really would. But do you know what? I really like to see So Marcus lose. So I probably would go on the other side. You know, see Team Elephant. Hitbox King was certainly the king of, or almost the king of the server last time. So yeah, I would definitely like to see them kind of going up against it. What about you, Moon?
Well, I would be rooting for Elephant, but guess what? Nope, you just went for them. I'd rather sit down, enjoy my buffet, right? See how things go through from the end. Although, you know, looking at the scoreboard, looking at the difference, you know, score of the first game, you would think, okay, Buffet might not make the cut when it comes to this game. But again, we didn't get to see how Lanterns played. We didn't get to understand why the difference was so large. But again, I'll stay with them, okay? You never know. I'm giving you my energy. I'm giving you all my love, Buffet. Let's go. Let's go. Let's break a leg.
I love that.
Yeah, but an interesting stat, by the way. The first game that we witnessed finished after almost 7 minutes, right? Almost 7 minutes. And within those 7 minutes, 200 kills minus 1 happened. 199 kills. And do you reckon that that's fast as a number? Thinking about it.
Yeah, it's hard to judge off the top of my head, if I'm being honest. But you know what? I mean, I guess off the top, it really was quick when you consider that the maximum amount would be 10. You know, I guess just as a quick maths, I will find out as we move in towards this one. And talking about this agent select, Moon, is there anything you want to highlight?
Okay, clearly highlighting Chi's own going for the raising here. I respect that. There's nothing less I would say. In the meantime, you can clearly notice that the attackers in here, and checking the name, yep, we're literally looking at Team Buffet to the right, with, what, 3 flashers? 3 flashers? So, like, that's 2, 2, and 2. 6 flashes overall. And here, on the side of Team Elephant, we're just looking at the flash coming from Leviathan. I mean, 2 flash from Leviathan. And we got Hitbox King in here. So that will definitely be extremely interesting. I can't wait to have my screen perma-white on this experience. I'm not certain. Hopefully we get to see enough things to tell you what's going on this map. As Team Buffet and Elephant are ready to jump at each other's throats to run away with their first point in the Spike Nation's TDM.
Yeah, and the way that things are going, both teams probably won't meet each other until they get to mid with the pathing. Obviously, both teams going through either side of the map, and I believe the Reyna going to be going up against them themselves. That's So Marcus actually hiding and probably comment where people are. No, it's Hitbox King actually. It just seems as if the frag's somehow going to fall in the way of Buffy.
All right. You don't take that peek in front of 3 people, but then again, Buffet will definitely not go back with an empty plate. That's already an advantage of 3 kills. Measly? Definitely. It's not the beginning, it's just pistols. There's nothing much to expect in here, but waiting for the next upgrade is when things should start heating up, and you can clearly see that both teams are being very clinical with their approach right now. I mean, they're just avoiding fighting as much as they can, and that's a bulldog coming up, and Hitbox King just messes it on its own. Sorry, I thought it was... Yeah, it wasn't a bulldog, sorry. That was a stinger.
Yeah, just picking up one of the upgrades. As for between both teams, it's still even, keeping it close. It just seems as if though Buffet moving around as a unit. Like, look how close all 5 players are to one another. As we move in towards the next stage, there we have it. People on sheriffs, people on stingers, and people getting close to one another, brawling it out. The Reina of Soul Marcus almost getting caught. But look how Buffet are just entrenched on this left side of the map.
Interesting in here, and that's so Marcus single-handedly obliterating the elephants in here. 15-21, but they're just sitting comfortably with this small advantage, and most of the fights are just isolated to this corner. That's heavy picking too, but I don't know, it feels to me that Buffet and Elephant had a pre-agreement. Oh, again, Hitbox just looking for the backs of his opponent, 40 HP in hand. With a Bulldog this time, I'm not mistaken. Might be able to feast on the Buffet players, but mistaken in here. That's Marcus with a double, and she's on getting rid of Black Espanolito. Oh, I did not misname the player. That's already 9 points. 9 points, and Elephants are a little bit too far behind at this stage. Okay, make it 12.
Me as well.
Yeah, Joey is just feasting on Elephants. He just doesn't care.
Listen, if it's working out, then you may as well keep going. As for now, though, still 10 in it between the two teams, and it seems as if rather than fighting on one side of the map, they're now fighting all over mid, most importantly, where things are going off. Hitbox King finding 3. This is it though, as we still need to fight through the deficits. Hitbox King is the only one that's really establishing themselves. For Elephant, Chase Owen tries to get through with the Spectre and certainly makes it work, prioritising ultimate orbs as well. That's another thing we need to be keeping an eye on.
Marcus?
Where people are going, and Marcus having no idea. My man, you need to turn up the volume on your game.
Clearly, and normally Elephant should be having a, some sort of a surge right now, some sort of a, let's say that the tempo was going their way and they just wasted the opportunity to double down on Buffet, who are back. Atix in here just handling his opponents as he should with his Guardian, but Hitbox King is just dead set with 6 kill streak to set the record straight. I am here to dominate, I'm here to close the gap, and that's only set. What? What? What happened here?
Like ships in the night walking by one another. Don't have an idea. As we see, like, again, Elephant's now starting to use what the Buffet were doing on the one side of the map, and it seems as if Marcus has found a real duel with the Phoenix trying to play off one another. Although we've got to see, look, moving on towards the other side of the map, the zip line, obviously a key component of this one. Chase Owen just managing to escape with a life. Marcus getting caught. The Phoenix playing off the contact. Geo just not quite making it work, and look at this, the deficit is growing smaller and smaller.
Oh, and again, Elephants, as you can clearly see, are just showing us that when it comes to Vandals, they're here and they mean business. Because this is the same thing that happened on the previous game. The deficit is back to 1 point in between Buffet and Elephant. Just scrape that away. That's already 2 points advantage for Elephants, and Buffet are just looking some sort of clueless. That's Marcus trying to change things, 2 kills to him, make it 3. Bringing back Buffet to the charge with 61 points, and that's Elephants looking lost again.
Listen, all it takes is a quick moment and things will change up. Players all congregating on the right side of the map on your top left. Hitbox King's on 22, Marcus on 21. The kills and not too far away from one another. As for the ultimates though, how close are they? Because they should be coming online soon.
Okay, and that's Marcus again, just expressing his His violence on his opponents, 8 kills in a row and cursed. That took a while, but he got caster cursed. That's so Marcus on the ground, but he has been leading the score almost on his own with his kills. Like, his position was excellent, he survived for so long, it speaks volumes on how Buffet are approaching this game. That's Joy grabbing to Marcus back in the charge, and well, Buffet are just heroes. Trying to get a full soul of the map. That's 7 points already. Alright.
So, yeah, it's just going back and forth. Still, GOI not quite grabbing it. Finds an opportunity though. And still, you can't see much of a separation. You need to try and play together once it, when we're coming to the ultimates. It might obviously come online just at the end of it, at the death of this matchup. So Marcus trying to make things interesting, trying to make sure that they keep control of top Cheesetown, just unluckily getting caught out by the judge. As for the Elephants though, they keep it going, they keep charging on. The Stampede hasn't quite worked out for them yet, but they're certainly looking to be eaten all day, every day. Points now completely even between the two.
This is where it gets the most interesting, right? We're just a couple of points away from the end of the game. 88-88. Grit your teeth as Elephants are ready to take the lead. And there we go, Hitbox King popping the Empress, literally ready to bring terror to his opponents, but one flash was enough to shut him down. That's still 3 points going the way of Elephants, while Buffet are just trying to make it through this game. 5 points, what will be the answer? And attempt from Matix, not able to grab that kill. Now, it's not just a matter of getting those kills, it's also a matter of avoiding giving those kills. Will you be able to trade 10 without giving any? A big question. 2 points only left, and Buffet are just trying to be as careful as possible while taking those peeks. Attempts maybe from Elephants to find the back of Buffet. That's Seppi grabbing a headshot, bringing Elephants to 4 points to the end of this game. Versus 7. Excellent headshot coming through. 97, a showstopper maybe. T-Zone getting rid of Fatix. 2 points. 5 remaining for Buffett. 1 point only. Will the miracle happen? But no. Elephants this time will run away with 100 points to 96, which clearly makes me question how was the difference of 34 points in between Buffett and Lamp.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows you how good Lamp could potentially be here, Moon. That's a scary prospect to be thinking about as we get to that matchup later on. And already we're seeing how close between all the teams it actually is.
Yep, definitely. And, well, overall the game was balanced from the beginning to the end. Okay, maximum that we've seen was 10 points of difference, 10 kills of difference, but time and time again, both Buffet and Elephant were able to pick up on the mistakes that they've made, and so on. And that was brought us to a close, not as close as the first game at the end, but close enough, I suppose. First note, game took longer. We have been talking about 7 minutes for the first game. I think that there was either 1 minute or less remaining for this game. Point number 2, I remember that I've seen a couple of players below 10 kills. But before we move on to discuss this furthermore, I think that we do have an MVP ready in here. A king or queen crowned on this game, which will appear right now. Is it Hitbox King? Yeah.
It certainly is. We expected it to be Hitbox King, if I'm being honest, Moon, just with the way that they've been generally playing the past couple of maps. We highlighted them and so Marcus as our potential MVPs moving into this one. They certainly both gave it a good effort. Unfortunately for them, just couldn't quite finish it off.
Yeah, clearly, and we've seen Hitbox King especially moving around a lot, trying to find the flank of his opponents, time and time again, whether it was game 1, whether it was game 2. He was able to be successful at times, but there were times where he missed the opportunity to, double down, get himself a double, a triple, maybe a quad even. But then again, it is what it is. Hitbox King in here was able to bring 27 kills with a little tiny bit more than 20% contribution. No, he contributed 25% of the points of his team, more or less, to be just 26 something. But then again, that's a small. So, what do you make of this game overall?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, Moon, after that, after all those statistics, there's one thing that I have to do. I have to take a break, and you know me, I'm not great at math. So with that being said, we'll take a couple of seconds, we'll reset, and we'll get ready for the next matchup. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Spike Nations Drift TDM Challenge. Again, a lot to say, but there's a lot to speak about. I'm Cairo, one of your casters, joined by the wonderful Moon. Moon, that's now 2 maps down and we're slowly starting to get into it. We're getting a lay of the land. Who so far has been your favourite team?
I mean, I think that my favorite is a team that didn't watch yet, and that would be Lantern. Of course, I'm still waiting here to discover how the ending of their game right now against Dragon is, how dramatic it is. I'm foreseeing a large gap in terms of kills as well, which will, of course, allow me to make a statement. But so far, Elephant's impressed. Okay, granted that they lost the first game, but it shouldn't be an issue at all for them, as they were able to find a buffet to their taste, winning with not so large of a margin, but winning nevertheless. So overall, Dragon won their second game, 200 kills so far, while according to my calculation, which are correct probably, 16 kills of a difference against Dragon. So it's interesting to see that there's so much inconsistency in here, right? Lantern winning against Buffet with a difference of 34 kills, but losing with a difference of 16 kills to Dragon. So Dragons are so far the favorites, statistically speaking.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. They're getting themselves off to a great start, if I'm being honest. But as for we move forward and towards the kind of next matchup here, what are you expecting from the two teams coming up?
Okay, Elephant Lantern. So first of all, I'm expecting to see the Lanterns that played against the first opponent, which was Team Buffet. But if Team Elephant just keep on playing on that's with the same growth that we've seen, there was a huge difference between Game 1 and Game 2, with an Asian selection that would be similar to the one they showed right now. They have been extremely efficient, right? We've seen how Raze was struggling at times, right? You don't have the time to use your bombard, you cannot really use your pass to move around a little bit. They should be able to prevail. But again, Team Lantern showed us that they can shock us, and they might be able to shock us again in this game. It might be that Team Dragons are just the favorite and Lanterns are the second favorites, but we never know in TDM.
I would have to say probably I'm going to go for Team Elephant as my favourites for this one, just because of the way that we've seen Hitbox King and who they're going up against as well. The opponents so far have been a bit of an unknown quantity, you know, Moon? So we'll see exactly what they are for their first game on stream for Team Lantern.
Yeah, definitely. And as well, Cairo, since you're picking Team Elephants again, of course, you clearly grew fond of this team. I cannot leave Lantern, right, going off, so I'll be supplying them with love instead of oil so they can keep shining on the upcoming game. And I'm pretty much sure that this game will be very challenging for both sides. Lantern, I think, did have a lot to prove to us since it's their first appearance on the stream. Elephants, the third time, call it coincidence, right? But this Pride of Elephants were just able to mesmerize the majority of our viewers. So what will they be picking? How will they be approaching the game? Will they be more dynamic than what we've seen in the previous game? And I don't know, correct me if I'm mistaken, but the previous game was very static at some stages.
It was. It was. I mean, there was a lot of, for instance, we saw a lot of teams kind of holding on to one of the flanks. You know, there's 3 lanes that we're typically seeing the teams kind of control. And yeah, I mean, holding on to one of those, playing as a unit, kind of trading off each other was what we saw. So it's interesting to see a mixture of tactics being brought forward. Obviously, a lot of these creators wanting to make it to Gamer G, to that final, Mr. Moon. So I keep going to say Mr. Moon.
Yeah, and you know, what's interesting for me is that I saw a couple of players walking in TDM, and I took the time to reflect back on the session. I do believe that, okay, you don't have a lot of windows of opportunities to walk, to use this mechanic to, you know, the intended efficiency that you're looking for. But yeah, flanking could be if you only see one player, right, because you're going to be spotted. But again, I don't know, it's so chaotic, there's so much noise going on, you know, there are so many steps that, you know, that mechanic could be just taken away from the game. And although we didn't get to see the agent selection, here we go. Lo and behold, Team Lantern, Team Elephant, 1 win, 1 loss for both. And it's time for Hitbox King to shine again, unless it's time for the players of Team Lantern to let us discover what they have in store for us.
Yeah, let's see if Lantern can shine a light on the situation. Both teams on the same and similar score lines, although it is Elephant to take the lead early doors. Maybe not so, as Vagut is helping out here. Early doors, we're always expecting these pistol kind of phases to be a little bit contentious between the two. Maybe one team doing better than they would later in the rounds, because as you can imagine, not a lot of teams get a lot of pistols rounds played.
Yeah, clearly, and what has been extremely impressive in here is just the duels that have been taken by the Reina of the squad of Team Lantern. Now that's Hazebox taking charge of the scenario. Vitagut able to get that kill anyways and makes it a triple. And he's still holding the same angle, he's just not moving! He's doing it!
Oh.
And that's a 5 kill for him! Of course, healing slowly but surely in order to dominate his opponents again. He's just delivering pain. This man just doesn't know how to stop. And
Certainly.
well, the timing for the reload. No, you hate to see that happening.
Oh, you really do. Elephant's almost been turned into a cuddly wally here, and it certainly is unfair who's helping out in that front. Difference of 7 between the two, and an upgrade to the
Ouch.
Stinger isn't what you want to see. It's not ideal at this scenario, as
Yeah.
still Lanterns keep their lead.
And, well, we might have been thinking that, you know, this has been very, very close so far, but question is, why would it seem so close? I mean, essentially, that train from the side of Lantern is just ruling this map, right? And she's bringing in so many kills to her team. In the meantime, Lanterns, the rest of Lanterns are picking up on the pace in here, but that's Leviathan trying to stop their momentum. And of course, runs through with mesmerizing speed in here, making it to the enemy camp. That's an excellent kid picked up with a Bulldog that he was able to find, and well, Elephants are just turning the tables with 3 points only separating the teams. Make it 1 in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, this new phase is like a whole new world with the way that this is going through, but is there going to be a genie to pull out of the lantern for the red team? It certainly looks to be the case. Still equal between the two. And as we go through once again into the next stage, this is now Bulldogs, Guardians and the likes to be brought out.
That's Kozak with a 4th kill, while still holding to this Guardian, make it 5, and well, Elephants are just barring any sort of access to this area to the mid, to Team Lantern. I mean, so much pressure being implied in here, and you know, the position they're taking, the vantage points are just making Elephant impossible to break in here. Now it's a turn of Effie to shine, making it 1, missing Effie by just a hair. And that gives away control of this area. Cheezone is still making some damage, and Lanterns are trailing in here. Looks like their light is dimming as we're progressing through this match. 7 points still in favor of Elephants. Well, Lantern need to find a way out of this. Wait, 8 kills for Kozak before being shot down by V-Tagged.
The scoreline again, there's not much in it. We've not seen more than 10 between the two just yet here, Moon. Incredible to see that every game on stream has been close, which is what we love to see. And again, contentious mid opportunities every single time. Kozak being at the front of that, and Elephants now starting to strive forward. Even at the early stages when they fall behind, they're able to fight back. And it's just holding the angles, waiting for players to come through the option line as well, and so are Lanterns.
And Lanterns again, closing the gap. 2 points transformed into 4 points in the blink of an eye. And it's impossible to keep track of the score in actions and scenes like this as the fight keeps on brewing in here on mid. And Cheezone able to find the back of his opponent. Bad timing to be using that paint shield, my friend. And that's Taggart capitalizing on a double, bringing his team closer, but Hitbox King shutting him down yet again. Keeping the difference to 5 points. I think. Do they know about Kozak? I'm not so sure, but that's Leviathan taking charge of this area. Will they check that spot? They do not! True Discipline could have been useful in here. And will be content with just 1 kill as Cheezone again running rampant on the flank of his opponents. 7 points in here. Elephants are looking good and strong and closer to take this game away.
The ultimate orbs are available as well. That's another thing to be thinking about. Rolling Thunders and the like could be invested to help out. Lantern holding on to the right side flank, although Elephants looking to dismantle that and do so effectively. Every time you think Lanterns get close, Elephants able to extend that lead. The Odins are up and available. I doubt many teams will go for that. Kozak though trying to go for that overdrive. It ain't working out that much though.
Alright, at least that's 1 kill with the overdrive with a little bit of damage. That could potentially allow for an assist later on, but well, that's Leviathan able to debunk the position of her opponents. Okay, interesting to see that ultimate popped up. Not that huge of an impact, but that's Bad Cap falling victim to its after effects, and 86 to 73. The game is coming to a close, and Elephants overall have impressed. They impressed. It's not a story if you're seeing a player popping off, but like the majority of the team, not to say the 5 of them, are able to just make a difference. They're winning the duels right and left. They're not giving even the possibility of an answer to Lantern, who are 16 points behind. 26 points behind. Is it? No, 16. 16. Whoop. Maths on stream. Very, very dangerous combination, isn't it? But Lantern thinking that it's not fair, just crawling their way back. The scoreline, that's 1 point and 15. That's still 17 points of difference in between to make it 16. Trying to make a last stand in here, but 4 points only remaining to Elephants. They did it before, they could do it again. VTag2 not very happy with the score right now. Trying to equalize things, but it's only 2 points remaining, and things are getting very, very dicey. It's gonna be an extremely difficult trade to make. VTag2 trying to leave hope for his team, but that's Elephants running away with 100 points. 12 points of difference in between the two teams, and take a look at this. Just look at this small highlight in here.
I think this is actually the other game.
The next game, yep.
Yeah, we've went straight to the next game coming through, and obviously between the two teams, we'll need to see what they can bring forward, as it's still quite contentious between the two.
Yep, and if I am not mistaken, this game would have been Dragons versus Buffet. At least according to the name that I'm seeing. Yep, that's absolutely correct. Now, making sure that Buffet is actually on the red side. They're still trailing with 10 points. Dragons in here trying to make a statement. Of course, so Marcus not very happy with whatever is going on in here. Will get himself 4 kills trying to kill the score. And, well, with this, I think Dragon would have 3 wins overall, right?
I believe they would. They are the top dogs to beat. Marcus certainly trying to upset that. As for the rest of Dragons, though, they're certainly making it work. It helps when you've got a player like Fezzy, and it helps when you've got a player like Raji the Jet just coming through again, continuously what we're seeing this. And Buffy are still trailing.
Okay. Now, clearly, Dragons in here playing for the 5 last points. They have enough of a buffer with that difference in terms of score. We're talking about exactly 13 points, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 13 points, making 14. 3 left to go. 3 last kills, 1 last kill, and they definitely did not make it an easy task for Team Buffet, as Dragons feast on them. And that's Team Buffet forfeiting 3 games, winning 0. So we've got, you know, the team that's trailing on the bottom right now is Team Buffet, where Dragons are leading the charge.
Yeah, it's almost like the two teams with the Team UK players are the ones that are losing, which is starting to worry me. You know, I'm rooting for these guys to go and win, Moon. These are my kind of like home run representation, you know?
Yeah, clearly, and well, extremely excited to see the MVP of the first game. We're talking about Lantern versus Elephants, and of course that stampede was unstoppable, and of course, and with no further doubt, it's this time to get TV, 32 kills. I was expecting another name, but fine. To get TV in here showed a clear resilience in this game. Again, I was talking about his ability to keep his team afloat, although he's part of Team Lantern. 32 kills to his name. That's almost half of the kills of his team.
Yeah. I mean, a third of what you need to win out a match. It's truly incredible. It shows you again, as we keep seeing, Arena popping up time and time again in that MVP slot, and the ones getting to the highest, probably the highest impact agent, which is not normally what we see when we think of Valorant.
Yep, and well, I'm seeing a clear trend in here. I think that this mode, I'm not gonna say that it's biased, but gives so much to Arena players. If you're good at Arena, if you have the aim to, of course, confirm your position and your pick of Arena, that's definitely your game mode. So, I don't know, I'm having so far mixed feelings in between favorites and so on. Things are getting mixed up. Dragons seem to be set for greatness, and they're closest to already run away with that first win. But in the meantime, Kero, I think it's time for us to run away for a little break.
Certainly is. We are going to quickly nip for that break. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Do not go far. We'll be back shortly. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Spike Nations Drift TDM Challenge. I'm Cairo, joined by the wonderful Moon. Moon, we've already got through halfway of our games, so every game from now on is going to be a rematch. What are you expecting now coming back into this second half of the double round robin?
I suppose that since the majority of the games have been close in terms of score, right? We've seen multiple games end on the score of 100 to 99, 100 to 97, right? I think that there's possibility for growth for any team that lost a game. I mean, it's not a very far-fetched idea to be thinking that even Team Buffet, who's trailing now at the last position, 4th position so far with 0 wins, could actually pull their weight back. I mean, 3 victories in here could put them back on the map. It might be a difficult undertaking, certainly, but just look at this. 2-1, 2-1, 1-2, 1-2, right? It's not that difficult. Everything is at a stalemate here. You cannot pick a specific winner for right now. I mean, we can clearly see that Dragons are close, Lantern are closer, Elephants are training with a couple of points behind. They show that they can do it, but Team Buffet in here, all the training behind, could even upset in here against Team Dragon and Team Elephant, given that, you know, the score was quite a bit large against Team Lantern. So I'm not, you know, making any assumptions right now. Maybe Team Dragon Lantern could be the same rematch. Maybe Lantern versus Buffet could be, again, a large score. But then again, I'm just, you know, I'm keeping all bets on the table here. Everything is still possible.
Yeah, I mean, everything's to play for. The fact that every one of these teams are playing for a chance to play at Gamergy, the fact that to attend it, you know, I think is probably the most exciting part for these creators. I imagine, like, just before you go for Christmas, you've got a nice little holiday to Spain and Madrid as well, the capital. So I imagine a lot of these teams excited. But now it's time to get into the second half. Game number 4, Moon. What are you looking forward to most about this next matchup?
I don't know. It seems here a little bit, you know, awkward to be watching Lantern and Buffet again, especially with a taste that we had earlier of the difference in terms of scoreline. I think it's the largest victory by far since we started the Spike Nations TDM, which of course will have its final played in Madrid during the Gamergy Festival on the 16th of December. So overall, I do know that our viewers are excited to see this matchup. The fans of Team Lanterns or the creators of Team Lanterns are actually excited to see them bring victory back to themselves. They couldn't do it earlier. They could do it this time. So, you know, everything again is on the table. Nothing is lost for any team. There's at least 1 point with 2 teams. So they could just make it back. Everything is still possible. You might lose focus. You might be, you know, going through a bad game. Maybe picks will change in here and will spice things up a little bit. An approach would change. Maybe a little bit of a lock, right? Taking a fight that you shouldn't take one too many times, and you're out of the game. So, yep, let's see what's going to happen now.
Yeah, definitely, and it's the Egg derby as well. So Marcus up against the partner of Meg Sounds Like Egg. So that's something that I'm excited for, to see who can come out on top, and truly is the better of the pairing, because I imagine it's a contentious issue between the two.
Clearly, I definitely do not have any history in between the two. Might there be beef? Might there be, you know, an ego fight in between them during this game? I never know. But anyways, stories would be definitely written after this one, that's for certain, Cairo. And again, it's always a blast to be watching people compete. Like, even with this setup, even if it's just a TDM, there's still that competitive spirit. And you know, honestly, I'm a little bit, you know, too addicted to that feeling. Watching people trying to, you know, one-up the opponent. That's what I live for. That's what I've always lived for.
Yeah, exactly. Looking for that revenge, you know, looking to kind of have a little bit of chat BM between the two. I imagine there'll be plenty in this one specifically, Moon. And let's start talking about the agents then, because now we've already seen half of the matches. We've already seen how we like to see the map played. So what are your favourite agents so far to see again, without obviously picking up the Reyna, because I think that's an obvious one?
Yeah, exactly. Because if we're talking about the Reyna, it's like talking about, you know, when you're making a carbonara, you definitely need Parmesan on top, right? There's no escaping it. She has to be present. That's a perma pick. We've seen what she does. Absolute monster. But again, surprised to see how efficient that Neon is. She can take digs at you from, from specific angles thanks to the movement speed that she gets through the sprint and so on. We've seen Sage being a powerhouse as well to be working with. It's always interesting to have it. ISO always overlooked, but extremely efficient as well. I think that this would constitute the holy trinity of a TDM match, right? There we go. That's the three. But then it's more about, picks of flexibility where a player would feel comfortable. I expect to see more of Jets. Not so much. We've had her on the first game. Impressive Jets overall, but kind of dwindled in terms of how many times she was picked later on. So, and then the fifth pick, we've seen rotation between once a Raze, we've seen a Viper, we've seen a Raze again. Not certain what fifth agent was picked to replace her. Clearly not a Cypher. Please, no Cyphers, guys. Please.
You're not a big fan of Cypher, man?
No, not making fun of Cypher. I appreciate Cypher. I love Cypher until the moment he removes his hat. That gives me nightmares, right? I'm sorry. Okay.
What about it gives you nightmares? Is it the fact you revealed, or the fact that it's a bald Cypher?
First of all, the looks, and I'm not body shaming you, Cypher. I'm very sorry about that. Second of all, it's the nightmares of not being able to hit that hitbox. For some reason, it kind of debuffs my accuracy. No, I'm not kidding. I really suffer to hit the head of a Cypher after he removes the hat. I'm like, what? I get this placebo of, okay, reduced hitbox. I'm pretty much sure it's not the case, but then again, that's a technical difficulty that I'm living with, okay? I learned to live with my fears, it's fine. I accepted them, there we go. But again, I don't think Cypher would be really good in this mode. I don't know, cages, cams, whatever for, right?
You never know. Hold on to one of those lanes that we were talking about earlier. There's three of them. One Cypher trip could do the business. But, well, enough of that. Enough of, I guess, theory crafting. Let's get into this one between the two teams.
Okay, so interesting here to see that I forgot to mention Phoenix. We've seen Phoenix already picked. He was very dangerous, quite hard to deal with as well. And that was essentially due to the quantity of flashes that him and his team were raining, right, on the adversity. But then again, look at this pick. First of all, I'm seeing Sky. I'm happy. You can see the broad smile on my face, right?
Yeah.
And I'm very interested to see how impactful she's going to be, yeah?
I was just going to say, I agree. I can't see your smile. Yeah, but yeah, it's all about setting your team up. Gecko and the Sky as well being brought forward is almost expected. You look towards what the other teams are bringing forward. There's only actually one initiator, and even an Omen, which is not something that we tend to see so often.
Clearly, I mean, if you think about his kit, definitely you'll discard his From the Shadows. I'm not seeing a lot of potential to be used in the format. Smoking, not so much. I don't think the Veil, and that puts him in the same category as Brimstone, by the way, because at least Brimstone can give you the stim pack. He has the Molly as well, which can be extremely impactful to deny areas, to, control an area, get someone out from a spot that you would check, but it ticks a little bit too slowly, right? So I'm not completely sure nor confident about that pick, but the TP could prove to be tricky to handle. And I don't know, that's a story to tell, a story to be written by the 10 players on the server. Buffet versus Lantern. Let's go.
Let's get right into it. Starting off in the first phase, which is the pistol phase. Choices between a Ghost, a Classic, or a Frenzy. And well, already, plenty of people getting off on the mark with the Ghosts. It seems a standoff through mid, and Lanterns taking the lead early doors.
Yeah, equalized right away by Buffett, making it 5-4, and well, this is the chaotic phase, the phase where everything is happening at the same time. I mean, one might think, okay, it's pistols, they don't have anything automatic. Well, the chaos happening here is just outstanding. 12 kills already, in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, just seen Meg got the first frag on towards So Marcus as well, so that's one to keep an eye on. A duel perhaps that people will be interested in to see who comes out on top. A bit too far there for Meg and Pineapple as they both get found out. Joy though, got the double tap activated and actually controlling mid. Nice from V-Duck. And now look at this, it's completely controlled. We're back to even standings.
And honestly, I'm sorry, you've seen the 37 kills, if I'm not mistaken, from Vita Good. I'm expecting him to either redo the same thing or exceed what he's already done. This guy's a machine, he's a monster. If you want to stop him, good luck. Wish you all the luck in the world. That's already So Marcus waking up. We've got the Bucky, not enough to to get rid of Vitagut, who's running on a rampage right now with that Stinger.
Yeah, it's more the Bulldog that I'm worried about. A couple of those headshots can easily be collected with a gun like that. Although, if you don't hit the things right, it might not be good. And the reload is the one that actually catches you out. Still equal between the two, still neck and neck. And still, look at this, all the way in towards spawn. And with the Buffy not knowing, this could be a disaster.
Definitely, and now Buffet are just dead set on taking revenge for what they went through on the previous game versus Lantern. But again, that control of spawn did not last for long as Lantern found a light, weak one, definitely, but putting them on the right path right now. 24 to 27, but Buffs are still dominating the score so far, and that's Espanolito getting rid of Vitagut. 26 to 29, still close, extremely close, with a couple of Bulldogs right and left, but majority still playing with Sheriffs, as you can see.
And not great. Flurry of kills from the Lantern side. You've still got the Omen holding down mid. Buffy taking the lead and control of the right side of the map. As for Lanterns, are they aware of what they're going through? That vertical position can sometimes be hard to flick on. Unfair makes it do, and so does Buffet. Right now, taking the advantage. The Gecko being used to clear out space and clear out kills as well.
Okay, and this is the interesting phase where everybody's playing a Guardian until the bad boy appears, and that's Pineapple handling this Bulldog to perfection. Missing a couple of shots in here, bringing Lantern to 41. That's an important point, but they just lose that small advantage they created to themselves, and that's Buff running away with a lead yet again. And Vitag is just surprised from his back while Mag is healing. With the timing, and that's unfair, just saving her from a predicament. It's just flashes right and left. I mean, there's no way I could move around here. I think my old bones would not allow me to. I mean, imagine treading between all those bullets, man. Just...
That would be tough, it would be tough. I think as well, another thing to keep a note on, we're halfway through the match in terms of scoreline and almost in terms of time as well, so this one's certainly taking longer than what we're used to here. Still, both teams go at it. It's interesting to see how the pattern works out as well, like the teams generally staying quite close together to trade off one another as well, especially when we think of this like a TDM normally isn't thought about in a tactical sense, but these teams certainly make and do.
And well, the operator did not last for long. The hands of Espanolito and Itagut in a predicament, still able to run away with a kill, at least on Gioi. And well, score still close right now. We're down to less than 5 minutes, or 55 to be accurate, with a little bit over 100 kills done in this game so far. And I just can't give it away to any team right now. 56 to 56. This is just such a close contest right now. It's impossible to just separate these teams, and with Vandals in place, I think we're reaching the final stage of the game.
Yeah, the ultimate orbs not being prioritised on anybody from what I've seen. Hello, Meg. There we go, Andrew. Wait to introduce yourself. Back into the fold. Now waiting for the respawns, and Buffy are going to actually approach it from the other side of the map. This is getting awkward, it's getting tougher and tougher.
Yep, and that kill, actually from the shadow, was literally a gift, God-given gift to Team Lantern, who are able to snatch away the lead. That's already 4 points. They started to dig even deeper and further to get away from the opposition. But then again, Buffet just keep on giving gifts right away. That's another operator in the heads of Espanolito. Getting a kill with it, justifying the pickup of this weapon. But will he last? Will he be able to give the long-awaited impact his team has been looking for? Nope. Thus Lantern just cruising through everyone from Buffet and taking the lead to 5 points, make it 7, make it 8. And it seems like Buffet are losing steam.
Does seem that way. The only thing is, though, is Lanterns try to keep themselves ahead. It's not working out. It's still tough all around the map. In fact, a little few of the players actually disconnected from one another, not playing that trade game that we know so well from them.
look, Kato, things are looking a little bit dire to be fair. I mean, you've been saying, yep, revenge is best served at cold, but what about the cold buffet? That wouldn't work so much. Desperate attempt here by Espanyolito, not failing too much. Well, Marcus is just holding an angle, hoping that someone would cross him, but nope. The wall has been raised, and Gioi trying to make the best out of this Odin. The double tap in here, well... nothing much has been done by him, and that's the third or fourth kill to Chill's Granny. But felt to me that he was the one handling the Odin, given how fast he was dispatching his opponents. And, well, 82 to 87. And Lanterns looking to just turn off the spotlight on Team Buffet.
So, yeah. Cool. I was about to say, the cold fights between the two aren't working out. Everything's somewhat dry. We've even seen Ray's ultimate invested as well, not really into getting real impact out of this. Buffet trailing well and truly, in Lantern finally looking to end this out.
Oh
the
God.
ISO 1 versus 1, unfair wins it. We're within 1 to win it out, and Lantern do it. They'll push themselves to 3-1, and that means they're that one step closer to Madrid.
Exactly, and that was an excellent display, but not enough for Team Buffet to make it against and make the cut against Team Lantern. But at the same time, Dragons and Elephants are duking it out again. Wait, is that the case? I'm not certain. Yep, exactly. That's the game. That's Dragons, if I'm not mistaken, versus Elephants. Of course, explosive start in here from both sides. Score is 12 to 9, 13 to 9 even. Already seeing a disparity in terms of number of kills as the defenders in here, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm not certain. The right lineup? I think it's the same game, no? That's Facebox King, definitely, and Shalom, yep, that's Dragons versus Elephants.
Yeah, it is. And with that being the case, the pistol round again, we start things off right at square one. Hitbox King still introducing themselves as the player to be watching in the arena, and one that continues to impress. We've even got a chamber introduced for the first time in, I think, the full time that we've played this. And yeah, I don't think there's been much to talk about so far here, man.
Yep, not so much. The game just picked up some steam. 22 to 21. It's extremely close. We've seen a gap initially. Excellent shot from Sarah, making the name of her ability proud. A true headhunter, wasn't it? Well, I will just keep on swinging. Not successful in finding that second kill, I suppose. I mean, a standing stinger versus Sheriff, right? I don't think we can literally have a conversation about it in here. And, well, still at a standstill. And I think, you know, it's literally the remake of the first game, literally. Very close. Very close from beginning to end, and well, it even ended with a score of 100 to 99.
Very true. Ooh, nice shots all in. Again, you've got to be like monitoring who's picking up the ultimate orbs, how close they are to that. That can show a real impact. Obviously, what utility comes available, but we don't really have access to the advanced HUD, so I mean, it's just having to grasp that from what we actually can see. Healing orbs as well, another thing to consider, and still both teams pretty even. Nice from Kozak though to gain the lead.
Yep, doesn't take too much damage from that trade. It was just excellent and clean from him. Hitbox King, again, proving himself to be the king who rules over all hitboxes so far. I mean, able to dodge bullets, able to hit your head with one click. I mean, what else and what more would you ask? Sliding headshot coming from Kazakh, and that's Dragons running away. 6 points so far. I mean, with the current stage being Guardians, you know, I think the part of the Guardians is the most exciting part of the TDM. I don't know. Does it just me?
Maybe. I mean, I'm unsure. It's certainly nice to watch a nice couple of one taps, you know. Oh, even we're seeing the Vandals being introduced. I think that was a pickup from the ground. Unfortunately for Fizzy, they're having to try and get out of there. Still though, Dragons keeping themselves well ahead now and keeping themselves at an advantage between the two teams.
Yep, and with that difference in mind, Elephants are just trying to stomp whoever comes in their way. They're in very good positions with the upgraded weapons and so on. Now that's Kazakh missing the opportunity to dispatch Raji. He had an excellent game, by the way. At least on the first one that was showcased to us, right? But that Kazakh just buzzing his way. His ultimate ability, but then again, it's still close relatively, yeah? 6 points.
To the case.
Yep. Alright. Excellent. Excellent from Kazakh. It's just so good at reading that, yeah, I know that someone is awaiting me on that corner. He has been so good with that, extremely clean, but we've got Stever as well in here, who's just wreaking havoc right and left. Xbox King would reciprocate that move from his mirror opponent. Kazakh getting a kill, missing to get the other one. That's already 8 points. Okay. The tour de force.
Yeah, tour de force, certainly good at keeping things going. And Dragons very good at keeping that lead. We're now up to more than 10, which is worrying when you're in a TDM aspect. Especially when you're all the way up to 15. It's still continuing lovely shots from Steve as we're slowly but surely getting down to the last 10 kills. Dragons now 10 away. Still that gap of 15. How do Elephants manage to fight, win out them, and not give much away to Dragons? It seems almost impossible at this moment in time.
And there's so much on the line right now. This is definitely not the game that you should be losing. And the difference is dwindling as we're speaking, but Dragons are 4 points away from victory. That's Epi raising the bar higher with Kazakh and Sarah intervening. 2 kills remaining. Kazakh leaves it at 1. And that's a combined effort of Chizone and Sarah that brings the game to a close. Dragons running away with a difference of 16 points. Very convincing performance from them, honestly. And you should not neglect the difference of 16 kills.
Should not. And another thing to think about now, Moon, is we're at a stage where both teams, or both of our top teams, are 3-1. This next match could decide whether they're going to Madrid or whether they're still in the contention for it.
Definitely, and that would put us in a situation where we're going to be relying on desperation maths, the what-ifs. And what we definitely want to know right now is definitely not maths, but the MVP of the previous game. We're talking, of course, Lanterns versus Buffett. And, oh, and behold, and that would be unfair. Well, it's been extremely unfair to his opponent, honestly. That was easy and cheesy. I'm very sorry about that one. But still, again, ISO has been extremely strong in this mode, and Unfair knew exactly how to operate this agent, how to navigate him on the map. We haven't seen a duel from him, I reckon.
Yeah. Now we get on towards the kind of thinking of how these teams are, how they're coping with it all as well. And when what are you after those kind of second or first of the second round games? What are you thinking then?
That's an interesting question, and a question that I would definitely leave to the players to answer because, well, I'm yet to put myself in their shoes. In the meantime, let us theorize about this question as we're taking a small break. Cairo. Oh my god, my mouth is running dry. I would need to hydrate myself. Don't forget to hydrate yourself, and I will be seeing you in a couple of minutes.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Spike Nations Drift TDM Challenge. I am Cairo, joined by the wonderful Moon. Moon, we are now starting to get towards the latter stages, a few teams close to qualifying to our finals in Madrid. What are you thinking as we slowly start to come to an end of our day?
I think that the adrenaline right now is at top levels. Every player is definitely boiling right now to bring in the necessary results. You know, these scenarios are extremely awful for teams, especially, in a format with 4 teams, right, on the double round robin. We're talking about, an amount of points that could make everything happen. So, technically, let's talk maths in here, right? Definitely the most interesting subject we could ever talk about. We've got 3 wins by Elephants, 3 wins by Dragons, 2 wins by Lantern, 0 by Buffett, right? So if we take a look at how things are running, Lantern are still in the race. 1 point would be their salvation. Team Dragon could drop the 2 remaining maps, and that would exclude them from whatever is going to happen. Team Elephants could drop 2 games, and that would exclude them to whatever happens. And if we are in a scenario where we would have a joint score, the difference of kills will be making the difference in here. So we're talking, about a very small difference between Team Dragon and Lantern. And that would be a very terrible scenario. So I think that the objective right now is to try to win with the most amount of kills. Even if you were to lose a game, you would need to, try to get as close to 100 as possible to eliminate the chance that would be ejected just because you are 1 kill short, right? You definitely hate that. So I'm certain that everybody's on edge right now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing that could alleviate that completely, Moon, would just be win your games, Sometimes it's as simple as that, but let's hope that they'll be able to do it. The fact that Lantern are so close, this next game, it's in their hands, basically, to get themselves into a winning position.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, imagine, okay? We're talking about the game, alright. We're gonna replay Team Dragon. They definitely, got the upper hand on the previous game. This time around, we could turn things around. We have the possibilities, we have the skills, we have the knowledge, we have the comfort of the agents, we have Tuga TV, who's really hurting every time he's playing against anyone. But then again, it's just that, to me, it seems that Team Lantern should be putting a little bit more effort to support their dog, their ace. But when I say support, I'm not talking about healing him, setting up for him. You don't have the luxury in TDM. You need to bring in kills, right? And that's exactly what Team Lantern need to be looking for. Team Dragon, overall, extremely solid. We've seen them more than once. They're just absolutely amazing at this. They've got the names, they've got the stats, and it's probably the most balanced team out of the 4 so far. So let's see how this is gonna run.
Yeah, I think a player like Fizzy certainly helps out. One who has been kind of all the way up to Ascension levels. I don't think there's many other players who have reached the heights of Fizzy in this little tournament that we're running right now. So I think that's always going to be a worry. As for Team Lantern, I mean, they were able to beat out Dragon before, so I wonder. I don't even think. Team Lantern, whether they can provide that goods, I don't know.
Yeah, very good question, especially, we were initially watching that first game and we heard about the score line and Lantern, digging that difference extremely deep against Buffet. One would have expected, I was expecting certainly Team Lantern are the favorites, and that's something that I said on stream, but I preferred to wait and see how they would be managing their game. Of course, the first game that we watched didn't really go their way, but they still showed possibility, right? So mistakes happened with a different set of agents being selected against a different set of agents being selected in different circumstances. I mean, come on, it's a TDM. You cannot expect, a certain pattern from your opponent or have like a clear view. Okay, guys, be careful. They're trying to take us right from the flank right now. Okay, we need to concentrate on this area. Like, maximum we can do is a Hail Mary of a 4 seconds for a wall from Jade that would be destroyed in, 1 second, 2 seconds? That's the end of it. You're trying to take a peek, and luckily there's 3 people awaiting you on the next corner. So it's very difficult to manage such games. So you cannot go with the approach of, okay, I'm gonna be rational in here. It should be like 1 + 1 = 2. No, you cannot be rational with this. A lot of luck. Not luck. A lot of timing needs to be involved, and the gods of timing and RNG need to be, favoring you in order for you to pull out one of those moves that we're expecting.
Yeah, I mean, and that's I guess like the thing is though is these breaks in between games, how are they going to affect the players and their aim? You know, are they going to get enough time to reset? Are they going to get enough time to kind of really sink their teams and keep their aim warm? You know, Moon, that's another thing that we need to think about.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, luckily for the players, the breaks are very short, so it's kind of difficult to lose on Steam right away in between games. Well, it's a best of one. It lasts more or less 10 minutes, so that in itself is enough to warm you up. I mean, it's good to, interrupt your deathmatch once in a while, to rest for a little bit, to reset for the next one and so on. So I think that, they would take the leisure to think about it. But if you're Team Lantern, I don't think that you have that leisure. There's a lot of pressure coming on you. You're just, 1 point at least if you're lucky, 2 points if you make it through towards making it to the Game Energy on the 16th of December. It's going to be quite the show, quite the final, and I do not think that any of these players would like to miss the opportunity to be in front of that Spanish crowd before, of course, the launch of the final of the Spike Nations. Definitely not.
We would want to miss that. I mean, obviously Madrid, a real hotbed for Valorant right now as well. We've got VCT Madrid coming up next year that we need to be thinking about, so it'll be nice to get a taste of how that crowd's going to be. I imagine a lot of people wanting to go to that event as well, Moon, so I guess that's going to be a little sample of what would be a bigger event.
Yeah, clearly, and it's going to be a very, very good, definitely not buffet, but entrée for the finals, right? It's going to be a good warm-up, to get into the mood for Valorant and so on and so on. So, yeah, definitely wouldn't miss that, clearly not. That's something to watch. It's fun in itself, it's entertaining. I don't know about you if you're having fun, but I'm actually enjoying what I'm watching. Clearly not the Valorant which, we're used to commentate on.
Yeah.
I mean, right, this is my first cast on a TDM, but I'm really appreciating the experience and what I'm seeing. A lot of fun stuff happening right and left, and, well, having to relive experiences of my death matches of 3 people picking me from a corner.
Yeah, it can be tough, but I tell you what else can be tough. Picking the right agent, which one is going to be good enough for it? And interestingly enough, we have the 2 top dogs going up against each other. Whoever wins this first one or wins this match will qualify for our final in Madrid. I mean, right straight away, Moon, I'll let you take it away.
Yep, Dragons and Lanterns, and if the numbers are not lying to us, if Dragons were to lose this map, and would win next map, Lantern would make it to a top 3 spot. Suppose Elephants win the game, they would make it to a top 3 spot, a top 2 spot, sorry, and then we would have a joint second position, and that's going to be extremely awkward because we would have to calculate the number of kills done by both teams to separate Team Dragons and Team Lanterns. So I do not think that they want to miss out on the chance of putting the nail where it should be put in order to close this ranking. But again, talking about picks, okay, we're seeing the Reyna. Fizzy decides to go for the Sova. Wait a minute. Yeah. Yes. I like this pick. It's...
Why is it that you like it, man?
I mean, think about it. One of the problems of TDM is that, okay, there's a lot of noise happening, right? We've seen players holding angles for quite the extended duration of time. Having that reckon on them, being able to see exactly where they are, would give you a better opportunity on, taking them on, making the push, right? You gotta think of the damage that's been dealt, and with a shock dart, you would be able to make the difference. And, well, if God forbid, right, a Hunter's Fury is enabled, well, you can imagine what kind of chaos would ensue right after it.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I think for me, though, in terms of initiation, I still prefer that Breach. I still prefer a Gecko. Even like a Sky is what you would prefer because, well, once you get the information too, you're also flashing your opponent, So that's something that I would really like to kind of see be brought forth. Obviously, that Sova can't dissuade you from an angle, so that's another thing you need to think about.
A lot to think about. They definitely do. Brains are filled with thoughts right now. It's either win or live with the anxiety of, will I make it? It's gonna be a little bit difficult, that's for certain. And, well, this round is being played just like a regular game. I mean, look at everybody's shifting around.
taking their time.
I mean, honestly, it set the atmosphere.
It certainly does. It does that indeed. Now already we know exactly what the case is now as Sanjay makes sure to rout anybody close to the spawn and does so pretty successfully. Between the two teams though, there hasn't been much of a difference. Still waiting for those ultimate orbs to come back online. Still waiting for opportunities to get up and get personal. And Unfair is certainly making it so, unfortunately for them though. They will get vulnerable up. And as we see both teams ensue that fight in mid, it will be Dragons to take the advantage.
Yep, and they're clearly soaring at the stage. 3 points of a difference. And now as they're moving to different sets of pursuits, we're seeing sheriffs coming in. I think the equation will be changing quite a bit. An attempt to push, but that's Vitagut again, obliterating Raji, but Shaloni was available to stop any sort of funny happenings from taking place right there. But again, it seems to me that Dragons got a hang on how to handle things by now.
Seems as if they do. Oh, reload might not be the right timing. That certainly looks to be the case as Megs got picked up. And Fizzy making that stinger, I guess, hurt a little. As for between the two teams, there's nothing really in terms of anybody close to ultimates. There's nothing in terms of anything like that. We're still in that second phase, so either of these teams could easily come back, Moon.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a contest so far. I mean, not that huge of a difference. Vitagut make it look extremely easy, at least initially, right after that couple of missed shots. It gives the opportunity to Team Dragon capitalize on the moving targets they had right in front of them. 25 to 20. Sorry, slip of the tongue in here, and that's a slip of the stinger. Coming from this Sova. A Bucky on the hands of Sever could be dealing a lot more damage, but the gap is just widening. 8 points. Things are not looking really great for Lantern. Trailing behind.
No.
Oh!
Nice shots though.
That was a disgusting piece of mechanics.
That's what you're looking for. Yeah, that's exactly what you're looking for. The Reina on Dragons just continues to make that Guardian sing. The Guardian Angel perhaps, or maybe it's just the Angel of Death. You even got the Jet coming in and helping out. And look at this little gap just continues to grow and grow. Who's going to be the one to take the win? It certainly looks as if it's going to be Dragon. Breathing fire, a scorched earth policy. That's it. An advantage of 14. It continues to grow. And Lanterns just cannot get a look in here, Moon.
Yeah, and well, this might have lit the players of Team Lantern with a little bit of a drill right now, because now that they're behind 16 points, it's do or die. There's no two ways about this. And, well, Dragons, on the other hand, are just not easing at all. They're just keeping up the pressure. That the knife coming out, well, doesn't need any target. The strategy on the ground, but Shalini's just playing Click Simulator right now. Find the Vandal. Definitely not enough to get more than those 5 consecutive kills, and, well, if you would just take a look at that scoreboard. I mean, this is by far the largest difference we had, I think.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think when you see people like Steve, like the Raggy, like it can be really tough to deal with. I mean, everybody's chipping in at this point. You're now starting to reach a gap of nearly 30 kills between the two teams. I think like Dragons certainly have picked up this map and put it in their backpack.
Yeah, and the difference grows to 27 points between both, and Lanterns are just struggling to land their hits as of now. Hit flash from Sanji doesn't quite help him to get that kill, and well, the Sage was lying in wait. But Unfair picking up an ace in here, looking to do a death race right at the stage, but well, a little bit late, as you can clearly see. Dragons are just eating away at Lanterns. They're not giving any space. They're not giving any choice. They're not giving any chance. And clearly feeling here despair rising in the minds of those Lantern players as Sanjay finds his way around mid. Not quite lucky enough to grab an additional kill to close the gap. But yeah, looks like a done deal. 25. 25, yep. 25 kills of a difference.
Yeah, I mean, once you get to this point in time, it's 25. It's almost a guarantee because you can't take fights without giving away any in return. 4 left now. And I feel as if it's almost Dragons finding their way on a sprint to the finish line. Nobody near them. It's a tortoise in the hare, and this time it's an alternative reality where the hare wins by a landslide. That's the issues between the two. Dragons are your first team to qualify for the finals in Madrid.
Yep, exactly, with a record of 26 point of difference, but behold, another game is being played right now. And of course, we're left with a buffet, and of course, their opponent, which would be the Elephants. It's extremely tight, as we're seeing right now, as Hitbox again is just running rampant in the map. I mean, he just doesn't care. He has no chill at all. But Alex and Jenny in here trying to get a little bit on a couple of mistakes, and we're talking about the largest kill difference by far. I think the Elephants are competing for that record right now. Looking at it, 22, 23, but nope. Records will not be broken. They're close to it. If they get 3 kills without dropping any, but nope, that's 25. Record gone, but Elephants will still seal the deal. For how much, we don't know. That's 100 to 77 with a difference of 23 kill. And, well, it looks like the rankings are kind of solidified for now, Cairo.
Yeah, they certainly look to be. I think the two teams with a UK rep have been knocked out, unfortunately, Moon, from what I could see from the standings. I'm sure we'll get confirmation very shortly. But, yeah, I mean, who's your MVP choice for that series of matches?
I think it's gonna be Steve. There's no mistake about it. Steve was just, a backbone for his team. He was just holding that position. Again, playing Click Simulator, just, taking his time, calmly clicking on Pixel. That would allow his team to get a point right and left. Doesn't tire, doesn't stop. So, that's gonna be very difficult to top him. But, okay, let's discover our MVP, since apparently it is ready for us to discover. Was I right? Was I wrong? Cairo? Yep, I was wrong. That was Shaloni. Shaloni with 29 kills. Again, it's crazy. It's either a Reyna or an ISO.
Yeah, it's always one of the two. And well played from them. 29 kills is no mean feat. Again, we've already spoken about it. Nearly a third of what your team need to win out. But with that being said, Moon, I mean, that's us. That's us nearly moving on towards our final match of the day.
Yeah, exactly. And especially that Dragons did not drop a single map, if my memory serves me well, which gives them 4 points. So getting 4 points, you're at least guaranteed second position, if I'm not mistaken. Because when you take a look at the rest of the ranking, Lantern did not win any game. They had a 0 win. But at the same time, Team Buffet are still, or was it Team Buffet? Yeah, Team Buffet didn't win any game, but Team Lantern are still in the race anyways. So, Cairo, what do you make of this?
I make that we should probably go for a quick break, Moon. We are going to step into that and then get ready for our last matchup of the day. Do not go far.
I shouldn't want you, I shouldn't need you, but I'm afraid that's not up to me. Cause when I hear you sing through my speakers, it's like my mind takes a hold of me. I've tried shutting you off for some time now, but I'm still hearing your voice in my head. Oh, I wish I was more than your fan now, and that your voice came from here in my bed. You're in my headphones, baby, in my headphones, baby, in my headphones, singing to me. You're in my headphones, baby, in my headphones, baby, in my headphones, making me bleed. You're in my but you don't care, you never reply. I'll try shutting you off.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Spike Nations Drift TDM Challenge. I am Cairo, one of your casters, joined by the wonderful Moon. Moon, we are now heading into our last of the games. How have you enjoyed your night so far?
I mean, so far it has been extremely entertaining, if I'm going to be honest. That's quite the change of pace from, the strat books, seeing what's going on, all those clutches, aces, very difficult and frustrating situations. A little bit of chaos in here would only do good. And speaking of chaos, quite the chaotic ranking, and as it seems, the deal is done. As we're only left with one round, separating us from discovering who would be taking the cake when it comes to Spike Nations Rift TDM, a challenge. Again, can't reminder that Elephant and Dragon are in prime position to actually make it to Spain in order to, of course, showcase their skills in a TDM challenge finals in front of all the crowd. Again, that's my stuttering. So, in Madrid on the 16th of December. So, things are looking pretty much stacked in here. The teams are looking really good. And I'm pretty much confident that Dragon and Elephant will definitely not drop any additional points.
It doesn't look likely. I mean, the fact that it's mathematically impossible will make things a little bit more interesting maybe when we get to that agent select. Teams may be thinking to themselves, right, it's done now, so what can we do in terms of making it fun, Moon? So I wonder if these creators have got any tricks up their sleeves.
Could be. Maybe a change in terms of which agents they're gonna play. Again, anything that they would change cannot be factored into the result because, again, we're literally left to a little bit of randomness, right? A decision taken by you versus a decision taken by a player that's not based on any rationale or any logic, right? So it's more of a matter of survival of the fittest in here. It all depends on how good you are at reacting to what's happening around you. So if you miss that shot, you get flicked back, and that's a kill you're giving to your opponent. So there's a lot of stuff happening. It's almost impossible to figure out what your next move should be. So reacting rationally to what's happening in here will be extremely difficult.
To our last matchup that's going to be shown on stream, Team Buffet versus Team Dragon. Team Buffet have yet to win out a match, whereas Team Dragon, let's be honest, man, have been absolutely killing it.
Clearly, Team Dragon have been this, how do I say, this team that was simply unbeaten. Okay, I was looking for an adjective in my vocabulary, just couldn't find one that suited the situation. But again, Team Dragon are looking like the strongest, most stacked squad so far, and that's proven by the numbers, that's proven by the points, by the amount of kills, by the way they have been playing, by the fact that they broke the record of the biggest difference in terms of scoreline. We're talking about 26 points to their name. So how will their opponents react to this? How will they be playing them? Would maybe Team Dragon's run off a little bit off steam? Maybe they'd be making a little bit more mistakes because they think, we made it, we're safe, right? That's not what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping to see two teams just, duking it out at the best of their abilities.
That's what we're hoping for. That's all we can hope for. And again, I guess we're more looking towards those agents and the ones that keep cropping up time and time again. The likes of your Sages, your Reynas, your ISOs. I mean, is there anything else that you would want to see, Moon, specifically?
I mean, I've seen what I wanted to see. Now, the last thing that I don't want to see, but I'm a little bit hoping to see it, is a Cypher, I'd imagine. A Cypher in this map. A Cypher in this mode, right? What could he bring to the table? But I do not think that this wishful thinking of mine would come to reality as, well, we're still that set here on seeing the same agents being picked right and left. Well, are we going into a 5 duelist one? And I think this mode is the only one where it would make sense, right?
Yeah. This is true. The KG being picked up by Steve is going to be an interesting one to kind of look out for. You've also got to look on both sides picking up the Jet, which is not something we've seen. The fact that we've seen 5 duelists being picked up as well, I think, is actually a first for us on stream, which is quite funny to think.
I'm not certain. I don't know. I'm more interested to see this pick of Fizzy and Stever altogether. How would they combine? Like, what would they bring to the table? I mean, thinking of Buffet, again, on the scoreboard, they had 0 victories. So I think that what you would want to do in here is to go for agents who are more kill-able than, you know, I don't know, an Encore and a Killjoy.
Yeah.
Sure, you're relying on your aim, right? But an ability that would help you get a kill easier, which would be easy to use, easy to place. Well, what do you make of this pick?
I mean, it's, I guess like Deadlock has the grav net to throw. You've also got the ultimate, which can grab you a kill. So you never know. It can be a bit of an interesting one when it comes to what you can provide with a Deadlock.
Could be, but then again, I'm not completely sure. I mean, it's a little bit confusing to like extrapolate how an agent is being used in regular games to TDM as well, right?
Yeah.
You're thinking, yeah, it might be strong, but then, I mean, you think of the Raze, right? And you're like, yeah, Raze must be really strong with this mode, but we've seen that she's a little bit lackluster, especially if you compare to ISO, to the Jet that we've seen so far. I don't know, but oh, let's go. 5 defeats to Buff, 4-1 to Dragons. The final showdown between those teams. Will the Dragons be able to feed on their opponents? That's the question of the day. And start off with a good start for Team Buffett.
Yeah, it does look to be the case. Marcus is trying to run away from the fight. It's not going to work out. As for the rest of the two teams, or what they're up to, the grav net is being thrown a bit interesting. Or not the grav net, the barrier mesh, sorry. Been thrown a bit interesting. There's I guess, and fights ensuing all across the map. Ultimate orbs have finally came online as well. Shorty even being picked up and finding a kill from the KG as they try to play together in tandem, beat that Shorty out. They do so. All in all, Dragons don't fight their way back in.
Okay, and well, Dragons are back in the game, leading the charge with 3 points of a difference. And Shaloni, take it easy. Take it easy, man. What was that?
And sometimes these players on the Ghosts can find their way into some pretty nice positions. Again, that Sage Wall to establish control, and the later, or the kind of more towards the CT areas. And as for the kills, being established by Buffy.
Okay, and here's some damage done thanks to the bombard, but not enough for Jenny to capitalize on the opportunity that she opened up. Dragons are still running away with 3 points of a difference, while the Sheriffs are the language these players would speak. That showed with a beautiful double, but not enough to put Buff ahead on the scoreline. A Stinger might be the answer, but Jenny intervenes with a double. And pretty much contested so far. Alright, that's Shaloni just denying you access to the window. Would miss a shot in front of that Bucky. And well, overall, extremely chaotic. What's happening, Moon? No clue. it's okay, well, I mean, you can't make sense of what's going on with the decision. You're just, you know, running in, taking an angle, try to take a peek, and, well, just pray that no one is awaiting you once you peek.
Yeah, exactly. It's always going to be tough when you're TDMing. I know, like when I warm up, I try to play TDM
Jenny.
just because of those pistols. It's nice shots, but nothing really concrete.
Yep. Speaking of concrete, that's Jules Granny. Hope I said the name right in here. Would be making the difference. Joy is actually popping off this game. That's definitely not something we've seen of him on previous games. It was at a decent level, but we're seeing quite often that kill feed right now on the left side of it. And well, time for our favorite part of the day, Vanguard time. Did I say Vanguard? Yep, I did say Vanguard. Yep, Guardian, my bad. I don't know what, Vanguard just seemed like the right word. My brain was like, nope, let's go, throw it in. Nope, that is a Guardian. A Guardian of the Vanguard, alright? I fixed it.
Yeah, there you go. It's tough as well. Bulldogs, another weapon that can really make things hot. I've seen them so many times in normal games as well. Joyo being able to miss out on the old kill contract that ISO puts forwards and making things really work. I guess like at this time we're waiting just realistically to get on towards the Vandals, and here we are, we're finally on it, the last stage. This is the sprint race towards the end.
Okay, I think that my microphone broke for a second in here. I'm still here, don't worry. And I was silently talking about the lockdown and praying that nobody would be getting, detained with the lockdown. And imagine the nightmare that it is, right? But more importantly, scoreline 80-74, 5 points to the advantage of Dragons. And this game is still as contested as it can get. And Buff or Buffett are still holding on and clinging to their chances. That's Atix materializing that wish into reality with a smooth double.
Well, here comes the fight now. Dragons really assaulting their way in, and you can already see that Gravnet trying to be worked in, but it's not going to happen. The play's not quite hitting either. And Fizzy really making this agent work in the 5v5 TDM mode. All the fights happening in mid, and it's still Dragons who are the ones to make it work the most.
Yep, and the difference is quite large, 7 points at this stage, but Buffett are looking to shrink it from 76. But Dragons are just holding on, trading kill for a kill, which is the best policy, as far as I'm concerned by now. But Buffett are just getting dangerously closer, 5 points now, make it 3, make it 4. Dragons are just trying to run away with that last point to cement their position at the head of the rankings, 97-91, 2 kills remaining, no mistakes. Allowed for Team Buffett to run away with Shaloni, but that will definitely not be enough as Dragon achieve the 100 points goal against Buffett and run away with that first position. But we're still not done for tonight.
No, the other game is on your screens right now. That was between Elephant and Lantern. Who can win this one out? It certainly looks as if Elephant are going to be the ones to do it. Lanterns stuck in their own spawn, can't quite get out and struggling to do so, especially when players are so far up. Old Harbour Ultimate invested, but I mean, look at this. The advantage, the difference between the two teams is so large.
It's pretty much difficult to recoup all of that difference, but Hitboxing is trying to make things work for him and for his team. Good aggression from Kozak will definitely not be enough to change the status quo thing, as Vita Good in here just hunting heads right and left. 11 points left for them to run away with a victory, get their second place. I think it would be a second place, but with this skill difference, I'm not to believe that. Okay, I guess we'll take a look at the ranking at the end of the day, because Lanterns right now are stuck at 76 points. Nothing much to be working with. Alright, Sarah getting that kill, still, one step closer towards wrapping things up to their advantage. But 93 kills for Lanterns. How do we make this work? That's Cheese Own pushing a smoke, able to get a kill for himself. And I think Cheese has literally 8 kills, 8 consecutive kills to his name. And it seems to me that Lantern are just avoiding fights. That the knife coming from that good might regret it a little bit, but no, 2 kills remaining. Surely they will not miss this. And yep, Lantern just execute the last kill, and 15 points of difference will allow Lantern to get themselves this sweet victory. But I would love to see the ranking to define where we stand right now.
I think Lanterns slot into that third place. Unfortunately, Elephants being 4-2 now, Lanterns being 3-3. That will be it. And we have 2 teams that will qualify. It will be Dragon and it will be Elephant.
Yeah, clearly. And so far, so good. Pretty good showing from every team that we've seen right now. Hard luck. Specifically for Team Buffet, who fought violently. Sadly, the result was not on their side today. Let's say that, of course, they try to offer us the best they could present, but again, quite difficult games for them. But Team Dragon is impressed overall. I mean, there's no questioning this.
There is no question in this at all. I think both Dragons and Elephant impressive. In fact, I think all of our creators put in a great show for everybody watching at home. I hope everybody did enjoy, and I'm looking forward to playing the new map that's coming out here, Moon.
Yeah, clearly. And well, if you're missing out on the beginning of the stream, remember that all these teams, or two of them, I'm sorry, Team Elephants, of course, will be meeting you in Madrid, of course, on the 16th of December. But let's take a look at the MVP of the first game that we witnessed. Right, Karo?
Yeah, let's have a look and see who was the one to take us up. It would be Fizzy, of course. Who else than the star-studded player? Fizzy obviously being one of our T2 heroes, and certainly is a hero for a certain team. But with that being said, though, Moon, what do you think of that?
Well, I think that it's pretty much fair. The pick was certainly surprising because, well, I wouldn't be expecting this agent specifically to be picked for this mode of the game. And she was absolutely out of my calculations, right? I don't know, I was surprised with it. Maybe a little bit more surprised than seeing a Harbor.
Yeah.
I think that the Harper would have made less sense. But definitely, that's why I was relying on your expertise to see how you would feel about that pick specifically. But overall, extremely good performance. We've seen how crispy he was at taking those headshots right and left. He wasn't the only one. Good team effort overall. They were able to control the map in the best possible way. And of course, the let's say the surge of adrenaline that happened around the end of the game clearly set the standard and made us extremely confident in their ability to win this game. And yes, they proved it with the result. Extremely interesting game.
It was an interesting whole competition, and here we have it. The teams who have made it all the way to Gamer G, it is going to be Team Dragon, it is going to be Team Elephant. Interestingly enough, both on the same kills in the end, and Lantern just missing out on the last gasp.
Yep, sadly, Lantern. I mean, again, if they were able to snatch that victory that they missed out on against Team Buffet, that would put them on a 4-2 as well. In terms of kill difference, I do not believe that it would have hurt them that much, and could have probably watched an interesting game in between both the Team Elephants and Lantern. But what is done is done. Dragon Elephant booked their tickets to the finals, of course, which will be played on Madrid on the 16th, and the Spike Nations Drift a TDM challenge. I mean, very interesting. Overall, very interesting to be watching this. A very good spin on the flavor of Valorant, for which I'm used to. For you, I guess, Cairo.
Yeah, 100%. Something different to be casting, you know, rather than the same old thing every other time and expecting pretty much similar stuff. So yeah, it's nice to have a little bit of variety. They say, what is it? Variety is the spice of life.
Yeah, exactly. The spice of life. And speaking of spice, a spicy final, spiny as well maybe, would be to be awaited for, of course, still on the 16th of December. Of course, during this festival at Madrid, you'll be able to witness the finals of the Spike Nations. Again, I would like to remind you that 4 teams made it to the end of this race, to the last sprint of this marathon. Of course, we're talking about the first semi-final between Team Italy and Team Türkiye, a possibility, a chance, hope of revenge for Team Italy against these giant Turkish team. And the second semi-final will be a vendetta, definitely, between Team France and Team UK, as this has been probably the most anticipated game during the qualifier, and the harshest one to watch as well, as it was extremely complicated on a macro level, on a micro level. We've seen beautiful executions, we've seen extremely beautiful duels and retakes as well, so we're hoping to watch quite the special final of the Spike Nations, of course. So, Cairo, any thoughts so far?
Oh, I guess there's not much to kind of be thought about when it comes to that. We have one of our lovely creators, actually, Moon, to go and interview. It is Andolo Chino, if I think I'm pronouncing that right, from Team Dragon, one of the teams that qualified.
Is the player ready for the interview? I think that he's still on the way. But okay, if I'm not mistaken, with my very poor Spanish, that would be Andalucino. which would probably mean from Andalusia. Not certain about that. And I think that he is with us. Andalusino, welcome.
谢谢大家，我们做得很好。
Sorry, no, definitely not. I only remember Cha, Washer, Shenma, and Pizio from Chinese.
Oh, you know Chinese?
No, I had to study it for 2 years, but you definitely studied Valorant on a mechanical level more than us. How do you feel about your victory, Andalusino?
I'm very happy because it's in Madrid and I want to be with the people I know. So being in the main stage with the people is gonna be so fun.
Yeah, and how did you enjoy the team deathmatch? Was that something different for you, being in a new map like that?
Yeah, team deathmatch mode. The mode is like very funny. I feel like it's the funniest mode that Riot have made. And we were like today try harding making pracs against Hitbox team like 2 hours before the tournament because we really wanted to go to Madrid. So it's nice.
I know, I'm kind of sad because that kind of burned off my question. Usually on an interview like this, one of the most important questions is how did you prepare for that game, right? But that would put me in a position where I have to change it. So my question is, coming into the TDM challenge, how confident did you feel about engaging this challenge, engaging this tournament?
Do you mean today or for the final?
No, for the challenge as it is, coming into the competition, meeting the opposition. How confident were you of making it to the finals?
Well, first of all, I check every teammate rank. This one full of Radiants and professional players. So I felt if I play normal, we will win.
Yeah. Awesome. And thinking about Spike Nations, the other tournament that's running, who is your favourite to win that one out?
I don't know because Spain lost. So I don't know. I don't really know.
Okay. No bother, mate. Well, I'll leave you with any shout outs or any love you want to show to people before we sign off the interview.
Yeah. Do you know what is the favorite movie of Sage?
No.
Ice Age.
That hit like a truck. That did hit like a truck.
Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you.
Hope you have a great night, man.
Bye.
Recovering our composure, I think, Cairo. That was critical damage.
That was a great first interview. But do you know what's great about first interviews, Moon?
Yeah.
There's usually not a sequel, but this time round there is. We actually have a second interview ready to come up.
Yep, clearly, and here we're waiting for Cheese Own from Team Elephants to be joining us, so they could be sharing their emotions, of course, and their preparation for the game. But of course, they're gonna take their time. Definitely, maybe a couple of seconds to join us. I don't know, man. I'm still trying to recover from that.
Yeah. I can imagine that would be the case. Moon, an interesting way to finish that out. But also, I think what was interesting from that last one was that. And Lucino was telling us that there was actually preparation put in. Teams were scrimming each other, which I thought was quite funny.
I mean, you can't take the competitiveness out of an FPS player, right? There's just no way. You have to prove that you're the best around. And of course, G-Zone from Team Elephants will be confirming to us why they think that they're the best team out there. Hello, how are you, G-Zone?
Hi. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man. Can you hear us?
Okay, yeah.
How was that tournament for you then, playing in the TDM on the new map?
I didn't play when he released, like today, I guess. Yeah. It was my first time. It's a very good map. I tried to play only Raze, not my best character. But I saw a lot of choke points there, so I can throw my grenade, use my boombot, use my satchels, and die every time, so it's okay. We won.
Yeah.
Okay, so thinking about this is the first time you're playing the map, right? Did your team get to prepare before starting your games?
Yeah, we prac 1 hour before. So we tried to to see which character we're gonna play, which agent we're gonna play, what we're gonna do. Like try to get some strats, and some of them worked. So we're happy about that.
Yeah, I'd imagine. And now you're going to be playing in Madrid against Team Dragon. What are you expecting then about playing in front of the Spanish crowd?
First time. It's going to be my first time playing with a crowd. I'm very excited. I don't know. I feel like I'm shaky right now still because we won. It's going to be my first time. And we will try to win. We're going to do our best for sure.
Nice.
And that's what matters, trying your best, of course. So, Chizone, if you have any shout out, any message that you want to deliver?
Hope the best one wins. Thank you for the invite and see you in Madrid.
Thank you so much, mate.
Thank you so much.
Well, there we have it, man. We are all done here, but we're not quite done. We have a few things to recap just before we finish up.
Yep, clearly a recap on the events that happened today, of course. We witnessed the beginning of a final that you will all be awaiting, of course, on Madrid on the 16th. So far so good. Very, very tense games overall. Of course, that led us to this final. Two teams that showed us that they are more than capable of taking on duels, on clicking on those small pixels that we're calling heads in the game, right? That's definitely promising for the finals on Gamergy. And let's not forget that will be the opening show for the grand final of the Spike Nations. Again, reminder that Team Italy will face Team Türkiye for revenge. And let's not forget France versus UK, a match that has already been played during the qualifier, which will ensure us a specific sense of vendetta in between the two teams. So let's see who will make it to claim the crown or the spike of the Spike Nation tournament, Cairo.
Yeah, we'll certainly need to see. But if you're wondering, hey guys, we really want to watch what's coming up. We want to know exactly when these games are, just in case you forget. Well, we've got some socials for you guys to follow. So make sure that you watch kind of on the VCT EMEA socials, etc. Make sure you press that little purple heart down below and make sure to follow the tournament. That's potentially going to be an absolutely bagging kind of competition.
Yep, clearly, and you definitely do not want to miss that. I mean, the qualifiers themselves are already, filling everyone with emotions. We've seen a level, I mean, honestly, we'd expect a high level with the players that we've seen with the calibers of the teams. But again, that was way, way off the roof. That was just exceptional. And, well, with enough time to prepare right now with the players, each team getting used to each other even more, with them knowing who they're facing, know their self, know their enemy, I do believe that we're in for some tasty, high-quality Valorant on the final in Gamergy on the 16th of December. So this takes us to the end of today's podcast, Cairo. You're the host, but I will still be asking you the question. Do you have anything that you want to deliver, any message or shout-out?
Certainly not. I'm all done here. I'm all out, Moon. I'll leave it up to you to end the broadcast.
Of course, thank you very much for sitting next to me, digitally speaking. It was an enjoyable experience to commentate with you, Cairo. That was our first time, and here's for many more. And thanks to all our viewers who tuned up, to the players who provided us with the best possible level of entertainment tonight. And, well, we'll be wishing you an excellent evening and see you on the 16th of December.
Celebrate, celebration, celebrate, 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 celebration, celebrate. Hey, what's your style? What you drinking? What's your vibe? I've been feeling